What's going on, guys? This is the Local Play Only podcast. I'm Cam.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm Jimmy, the big fucking weeb.
NANI? So next, we're going to finally get into the big one, which is anime culture.
It's fucking dank.
The first thing, okay,
What's
a very standard anime culture word?
Weeb?
Weeb.
What does weeb describe?
Someone who doesn't know when to stop talking about anime.
It's someone who goes a little too far, which you get a lot of.
Like people who Naruto run on purpose.
Like Naruto running at Area 51, like that kind of. Yeah. So the first thing I actually want to talk about is the good. So let's talk about the good aspect of anime culture. I think it makes you a more open person.
Yeah.
For the most part, it's like the exception of the rule kind of thing. But in general, I feel like watching anime as a kid made me way more open to a lot of things. You know, and I don't consider myself, racist, homophobic, anything like that. Especially watching anime. Obviously, there's some things in anime I can't get behind, and we'll get into that once we get into the bad.
Yeah.
But in general, though, since there's so many different types and there's so many different varieties of characters, and I feel like it's always so funny how in like Japan, they're still behind in a lot of ways and stuff like that with acceptance and stuff. But in animes, it's like they're forward somehow.
They also, in Japan, they do not like the term otaku.
Yeah.
At all.
I mean, I can't blame
It is
them.
derogatory.
Yeah, it is a derogatory. Here, it's just another word for an anime person, but there, it's much, much worse.
Yeah, in a sense for them too. I'm sure part of it's they take it as like a cultural appropriation kind of thing.
It has something to do with a killer, if I remember correctly, why they don't like it as well. I can't fact check this.
Listen,
so
if
I
I was a
apologize in
serial killer,
advance.
I'd go by the otaku killer.
It's exactly. It's like the Zodiac killer, but
Beat people to death with statues.
I feel a lot of it probably
Anime
is.
figures.
the real waifu.
I feel like a lot of it probably is like culture appropriation kind of thing. Like it's obviously a lot of white people are otakus, and a lot of them are trying to take Asian culture, and it gets a little cringy when you see it.
Yep.
Yeah, freaking. Oh god, what is it? When an English person starts trying to speak Japanese a lot.
A Japanese.
I just
No, there's a term for it.
Oh,
I just
can't
think
think of
weeb.
it.
That's all I can think about.
Yeah.
But like in general though, like when we go to something like Anime North, you feel extremely
Accepted.
accepted. Yeah, you can do the dumbest crap. You can be as weeby as you want.
You can walk up to someone in full costume, quote their show, and like do a stupid pose. And do you know what they're gonna do? Go, yeah, stupid pose again, and they'll pose
Unless
stupid
it's
with you.
BM doing it,
Unless
because
it's BM.
then they're weirded out.
Yeah, but if I walk up and I'd be like, Naruto, and they do like the Shadow Clone Jutsu, he's gonna most likely do the Shadow Clone Jutsu. Like he's
It's
not gonna be
true.
like, oh, look at that fucking weeb. Like they're not gonna say
I
that.
just think with the such the variety of anime too, it just makes everybody I know who watches anime, I feel like is pretty open, pretty accepting person for the most part. So there's a good aspect of it, and it's a community, right?
Oh yeah.
You feel safe, Especially Anime North, you drop your wallet with $300 cash, someone's picking that up and bringing it to you.
Yeah.
It's like you're in like a group where they're like, I can't steal from a fellow weeb.
They're like, this guy needs to buy his waifu statue. I can't do that.
It's always so funny seeing like the regular people drive by the convention too.
Just
And
staring
they're
at
like,
us
they're like looking at
Cocked
it
as
like,
they're driving
what
past.
is this?
where are we?
I love the Anime North test when you're coming down Airport Road and you're like,
How close are we?
what is it going to be? And how long are we going to see a costume and what's it going to be? And you're like, it's Hatsune Miku this year. And like you drive up and boom, there's a guy dressed in a Hatsune Miku costume. And you're like, I called it. I win.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always a good time. I mean, there's a lot more about the good parts of it, but it's much more fun to talk about the bad parts of it.
Yeah. It's really cringy sometimes.
It's really cringy. Otakus in general, as I said, if you make your entire personality about your hobbies, it sometimes goes a little too far.
Yeah, it's very easy to overextend.
As I said, when you meet someone and you can instantly tell that they're an anime fan, it's probably because they already immediately told you, or they have their hentai shirt on.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
they're wearing their Ahegao shirt.
Yeah, there's something cool about it in a sense where if you're an anime fan, you could be like, oh, maybe I can talk to that person now. Like I can just assume they like it and go up and talk about it kind of thing. But in the real world, it doesn't always happen like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a barrier. Like, there's one thing, like, for instance, your Full Metal Alchemist tattoo.
Yes.
That's a very subtle symbol that someone might pick up on.
Yeah, most people won't notice it.
Yeah, like my
Some people
shirt.
might.
Nobody would be like, oh, that's
That's
a weeb
Buzzswole.
shirt. That's Buzzswole.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got that from Pokemon.
Yeah, on the other hand, if you're walking around in a full Ahegao tracksuit...
Yeah, people notice that, and it's,
Did you? I have to send it to you. There's a car and it's all the Yaki Gal thing
God.
all over the car,
I've
and he
seen
starts
that.
like burning out in front of a cop, and the cop like smacks the car, and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And it just made me laugh. It was great.
I mean, I'm gonna get into some of the main bad things about anime. A lot of over sexualization
Of children.
Yeah.
of children,
Oh, yeah.
of siblings, just in general, like even of full grown adults.
Yeah,
you
there's-
just sometimes you got to think that just those Japanese people are just horny as shit. Like,
They want to fuck.
Yeah,
That's
there's a
it.
lot of like, I want to bang my sister, bang my cousin. It's like, okay,
it's that point where you're like,
Hey, cousins in there that for Japan, cousins are all right. That's
Yeah,
that's
but
the.
I'm going to say we make fun of Alabama for it. I'm going to make fun of Japan for it.
that's
Yeah,
fair.
that's true.
That's fair.
We
You
did
know, he's
quote-
being an open person.
Yeah,
we did
that's-
make fun of Alabama before.
Yeah, we did make fun of.
Yeah, it's the thing where like you're watching an anime and you're like, I like this anime a lot. It's got, you know, fantastic voice acting, beautiful art style, like the story's fantastic, and then it's like, oh, but like there's a lot of ecchi scenes. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
I can kind of deal with the ecchi scenes. Like I'll just like,
Do you want to know the show that weirded me out recently?
what?
Made in Abyss.
Why?
I didn't like the main characters were naked all the time. They're kids. It's
Yeah.
fucking weird.
I think they tried to do that more like a realistic sense though, instead of like a perverted kind of sense.
Yeah, no, didn't like it.
No?
It made me dislike the show, and I know a lot of people fucking love that show. I'm sitting there going, how did this beat out My Hero for top anime of the year?
I got to say, that's kind of putting a pin in me watching it again.
See, I didn't look at it like that at all. I think that like for the most part, if there was an anime, I'm even taking something like Gundam Seed is one of the ones I like.
And I finished the show just to I didn't
like, you know, two characters get stuck on like an island in Gundam Seed, and there's a part where like they're not wearing very many clothes because like the crash and stuff like that, but it wasn't sexualized in any way.
Yeah.
No.
So you're like, okay, that's completely acceptable.
Yeah.
But then there's so many anime where like they literally have to zoom in on like a boob jiggle or the panties. It's like it's
Yeah.
a very standard.
They'll just be having like a normal.
Or the girl running
Conversation.
down the street, they bonk, and
Yeah.
then there's underwear in his face.
And then the
you're
guy
like,
makes
yeah.
a weird face, and then there's like a
the
a sound
steam
effect.
comes out, yeah.
Nosebleeds.
The nosebleeds.
Like that's the bad, but it's like, you know, it doesn't ruin an anime. You can kind of just ignore that.
No,
or, like,
I've
keep
liked
watching.
shows that are like.
There are different degrees of it, right?
I just
Yeah.
didn't like the character design. It made them look much younger than but is it done by the Madoka team?
I have no idea.
It looks like a Madoka team.
I feel like it is. It has a very similar style.
And I didn't like Madoka as well because they're too young to be super gory and stuff like that. So I think that's what just turned me off of the show is just like
Yeah.
seeing that girl being stabbed by the monster, and I was like, no, that's good, cool.
Yeah. The one thing, so even if we could all kind of get over that, the amount of ecchi and stuff like that, then there's the over the sexualization of children or young people.
yeah.
As an adult, maybe if I was watching that when I was 15, I wouldn't care. But as an adult, when you go back and watch it, a lot of anime, you know, I actually like anime a lot when it's focused on college kids or beyond, like
Yeah.
someone who are more
Or like
adult.
last year high school, like that's almost
Yeah.
fine, but I
A
like
lot of it
the-
starts around people in like they're 14, like they're like first grade of high school, their second grade of high school, and then there's a lot of over the sexualization in that. But obviously, in 99% of anime, it doesn't go anywhere. That's
Yeah,
just
it's
how
just-
it works.
Shot here, shot there, and then
That's
Yeah, but still, the over the section of young people, and then the one step worse, which would be then the over sexualization of siblings.
Yeah,
What like where did that stem from?
I don't know.
Because I've seen a lot of ones, even back in the day of.
Born High School Club had Hikaru and Kaoru, and they were
It's
like
true.
like they weren't, but
But
Yeah.
that's
they
actually
were.
that's a play on the fact that Japanese people like that.
yeah, I
though.
know,
Yeah,
but
that
like
was- it was drawing
it's
out a
just weird.
trope. It
I don't know
wasn't-
why. Yeah, I mean, the thing is though, I almost accept that more because even as someone who's North American though, or even if you look at just like sexualization in North America, to fully adult twin sisters kind of thing, that could be over sexualized too. and
Oh, absolutely.
That's completely normal.
Twins, Basil, twins. Like
yeah,
from-
exactly. Like that's normal. But it's the classic, like the male who's like 16, 17. He's got like the 10-year-old sister who's like in love with him. and-
Toothbrush.
yeah,
Oh,
or the like
God.
the what's
I
the,
just forgot about that. God damn it.
what's like the Orisuki? Is that what it's called? Like the my sister cannot be this cute.
Oremo.
Where it literally ends with them getting married.
Yeah.
And they're not like half siblings. I think they're full on.
Do you know the one I'm talking about? Though?
I do,
The
yes, with
creepy
the-
Yes.
toothbrush?
like holding her
Nisei-
down.
Was it Nisei Monogatari?
Yeah,
Or,
too much for me.
I don't know where it stemmed from, and it can literally just destroy. And the weird part is I've seen a lot of these animes.
Yeah.
So I know I'm making fun of it. Like, why would you watch that? But then I've seen a lot of them because like some of them have like a lot of like it's like 90% really funny.
We
or-
talked about Girls Bravo.
Yeah,
there's some
true.
dank shit in that.
The recent ones were like Eromanga Sensei.
Oh,
Did you watch
yeah.
that one?
I got like 5 episodes in. I think I got to the little girl who said I love dicks. I'm like, nope, and just stopped
So
watching.
that one was a little bit. That one was actually more acceptable for me. It was a little more funny because it wasn't really.
It was like an adopted sister.
It wasn't really as big of a relationship with the main character either. There's like it's a classic harem, obviously,
Yeah,
or
the classic. Yeah,
They're all 12.
that's fair.
But then there's the other one. It almost the exact same plot. It was like the writer one.
The writer one.
Yeah, it's like the basically it's almost exactly like that. Manga Sensei is but the brother who's a writer and the sister who's the illustrator, but it's like a very ecchi series. So the sister, even though she's like 12, just draws like nude girls and all that kind of stuff and sex scenes.
Perfect.
The other one is the one where the sister is the writer of a light novel series, but the male pretends to be the writer, and it's his sister, and that one's also really
I don't
weird.
think I saw that one.
Yeah,
It's
that
like
doesn't
My
sound
Sister,
familiar.
My Writer, something like that.
Oh, I think I heard that. Saw the Arrow manga.
Yeah.
Senpai flags fly. Just like no.
Manga Sensei was much more comedy, and there's like a little bit of that kind of stuff thrown in, but then this one was much worse.
Well, there's that really weird one, the Interspecies Reviewer or whatever.
Oh,
Have
the
you
one
heard-
that's airing now, right?
Oh,
It's-
I've been watching that.
It's
not
pretty
gonna lie.
fucked, man. I haven't watched it yet. Is it on
I think
Crunchyroll?
it's fucking hilarious.
it's
though.
on-
it's
no,
not.
No. Oh, it's online
That's
only.
some
Okay.
Kiss anime shit.
Okay.
And I've been watching it uncensored.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
literally just hentai at this point.
so it's like Monster
it-
Musume, but worse.
It's worse.
It's literally like it's 1 pixel away from the hentai line.
It's
somehow
worse.
they managed.
I think I
Nice.
saw the first 4 episodes. When it's not being super weird, it has like a lot of funny humor.
Yeah.
But then when it's like
so it's an anime I shouldn't watch. Okay.
You could probably watch just a supercut with all the really etchy scenes cut out. It'd be pretty
Yeah,
good.
but where's the fun, Jimmy?
for people that are watching this and aren't weirded out yet, it is literally a plot about like a classic fantasy world with like hundreds of different races, types of people,
Fairies and shit, yeah.
demons, all that kind of stuff. But the world basically runs around a system where like brothels are extremely accepted, and there's one or multiple for every single race. And the main characters have like a group that go in, have sex with these people, and then write a review on them so everybody knows.
It's how they make their money. It's
There's like very, very small aspect of sometimes like isekai, or maybe they go out and fight one monster and then they go to like 6 brothels. One of them is like a meat place where it's like a salamander lady.
Okay.
She looks like a normal
Oh,
girl.
yeah.
She's so hot they cook their meat on her and then they have sex with her. It's like, who thought of this?
Somebody, a
there's
very
some-
sad person.
There's
Who's
some
out
very
there
depraved
like
people.
Yes, I got it.
I'm a genius. But it's being dropped from a lot of TV channel like shows in
I
Japan.
wonder
Yes,
why.
obviously.
As of today, a new station actually picked it up, so it is airing in Japan again.
Because it is going to make money. It's just,
I'm
do you want to be
positive it's got a
tied to
big
that
cult
money?
That's
following,
dirty
too.
money. You don't want to be tied to dirty money.
Oh yeah.
The humor is actually really most humor you can always tell between like anime humor. It's very, I don't know, it's very Eastern humor kind of thing compared to like
Yeah.
it's not always what we're gonna find funny in like the West.
It's a lot of joke and retort type stuff.
Yeah, but this I find is much more Western humor, like kind of like the humor you'd see on a lot of like shows we watch, something like that, but in
Okay.
an anime. But then obviously it's extremely over sexualized.
Yes.
And like it's once again it has all those type of things other than sibling. I haven't seen anything about siblings so far, but there are specific places where they're like fairies like this big, or there's like people that look like young girls. It's a lot of weird classic anime
Yeah.
shit.
I don't think I'm gonna watch it anymore, boys.
If anything, I'll show you. I'll just send you some really funny clips if I see
Oh,
any.
okay, sure.
That's the best way
Send
to
me
do
the
it.
memes. The
Yeah,
memes.
just because there's going to be a lot of memes from that
Oh, yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
Like I'm not gonna lie, when I was watching it, it was more the same attitude you have when you were looking at like a train wreck or something. You just want to see what's gonna happen next.
Mm,
Yeah,
okay.
you know that you're like, why am I watching this? It's not good, and every episode's the same. But you're like, but I guess I'll watch the next one.
Okay, I've had shows like that.
Which boundary
Yeah.
are they gonna cross next?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like,
that's-
what can they possibly do in the next episode?
It all started, man. It all started with Goblin Slayer, man.
That's true. Though Goblin Slayer kind of hit people fast with that, and then nothing really happened
Do you know
again.
what episode I stopped watching? One.
I kept watching.
It's the same as Elfen Lied. It's got the shock value at the start, and then if you get past that, there's
Yeah,
nothing
but
worse
Elfen
than that.
Lied had
I'm a little-
violent shock, not rapé shock.
I mean, Elfen Lied did have Rapé shock
There's
later.
a lot,
Yeah, it did,
there's a lot
but-
of the naked ladies.
Yeah,
too.
but they have cool
I
invisible
don't say I'm
arms.
a little fucked. I just like seeing how far anime will go sometimes.
You're a fucked human being, bud.
But something like
Yeah.
Goblin Slayer though is literally after the first episode, like, oh, that was a pretty stunning first episode. I'm not gonna say it's good. I won't say it's bad. It's just not what I was expecting.
It hooked your interest.
But yeah, then after that, it was pretty boring through the rest.
It made it really hard for me to watch the slime one.
Oh yeah, where there was
where all
like
the
two
goblins are
friendly
like, "Oh, we're
goblins.
happy people." I'm
That's
like, no,
true.
you're not. You're all rapists. Like, and it was
So I
pretty
think
rough.
that this quickly transitioned from the bad to also the weird.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
What's some of the weirdest stuff in anime? There's isn't there a newer anime where it's like statues that form a boy band?
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
That's weird.
Oh yeah.
That's weird.
There's Japan's leaders being reincarnated as dogs.
Yep.
Yeah. There's
What's the oh shit?
Japan has like 20 different series that revolve
Pop
around
Team Epic?
like Nobunaga, or his name is.
Pop Team Epic. Did you watch that?
I don't think so.
No, it's got the like tall girl with the it's like weird anime.
Yeah, it's got. Oh yeah, I know. that one.
But have you ever watched an episode of it?
I watched
It's random
one.
as shit.
Oh,
Like
yeah, it is.
there's not a cohesive story. It's more like
Robot Chicken.
it's anime Robot Chicken. Thank you. That's actually really, really good. It's anime Robot Chicken. Like they'll cut to and then just the small one looks at you and has like a super manly voice, like the like super deep.
If you
voice.
want the shortest episodes like to watch and be like, what's going on? Do you remember the one about the girl who doesn't talk?
There's a couple of those.
That like
Yeah.
short anime. It was like only like a minute each one. It was just about there was like the one girl. One of the episodes was literally just about her like smacking her thighs the entire time to hear like the sound.
Oh my god, yes.
And then it's just like so much weird stuff, and you're like, why?
There's the other one where the boy doesn't talk and he's
Yeah,
in
the
class.
desk?
Yeah, and he's like
Yeah.
making like super epic chisels and all that shit. And
Yeah.
that was a good one. I like that one.
Even earlier when we talked about something like a key can, it's not that weird compared to regular anime, but that was one of the first ones I watched, and I was like,
it's
who
one of
the
those things.
hell made this?
Yeah, who came up with this idea?
Inuyasha's pretty fucking weird.
Yeah.
There's a girl who controls people's hair and like makes a weird hair cocoon.
I liked her.
Yura, she was cool.
Yeah.
She was
and,
cool.
you know, Inuyasha's like a dog who has like a
Sit,
collar
boy.
on. Yeah. I wonder what that. I never actually thought about watching that show and subbed.
I feel like it wouldn't
What's
be as
it
good.
like?
Yo!
I liked Richard Cox actually. Even
He was
I
good.
heard he was like a dick in real life,
I heard that too.
but I mean, he did
Jess
a good Inuyasha
was like
voice.
infatuated with him until she
She
found out
saw
what he
him
looked
in
like.
real life.
It's kind of like
Story of everyone's life with anime.
Benjamin. No, H. John Benjamin. What the fuck's his name?
You're thinking of Archer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John
Oh,
H.
yeah.
Benjamin. Yeah,
I think so.
yeah, he doesn't
And
look anything
he
like you
looks
picture.
like he sounds like he's gonna be the most suave dude, and then he's just some like big bald fuck.
Well, just watch Bob's Burgers, then try and picture him, and then
Yeah,
see,
that's
you'll
a
be
little
more
more likely.
accurate.
Hey there, fancy meeting you here. If you want to see any of our older videos, they're in the section on the left there. On the top, you can see our previous videos. On the bottom, you can see every other one we've had. If you want to be a cool guy, you can hit that subscribe button. It's right in the center, right here. I'm waiting. Do it anytime. I got nowhere to go.